guys, how's it going? This is Danny once again with Dead Revival Design, here to provide you with a couple extra tips and tricks related to chainsaw operations. Particularly, again, we're going to be touching today on chain, oilers, and a little bit about some bar maintenance. So, first of all, let's touch on chain. Oftentimes we got to transport chain to and from work sites that we're at. Transporting chain can become a little bit messy. How can transporting chain be a little bit messy? Have you ever gotten a long chain stuck in a knot that takes you forever to get out? Well, there are several ways to prevent this. Let's take a look at some of the ones that we use. So first of all, here's a regular chain that's been folded into half and then taped at the top and a little bit beyond the middle with black electrical tape, and that's going to keep the chain in a way that we can ensure that this chain's not going to tangle up. Additionally, you can put a little piece of blue tape on there and write the length of the bar that it corresponds to, or the amount of driver links. Those are just kind of personal preference. A second way to transport chain is you can coil it like such. And so, coiled chain. And so when you get to the job site, it's as easy as you find your top leading edge there and you just unfold it. In order to get this coil nice and tight, what you do is you start by folding like that and then continue working your way through the coil until you have it finalized. You can also put tape around in this direction and this direction to keep your coil together. This is another good way to transport chain. Another little tip about chainsaws. A lot of people don't seem to know that at the very bottom here, there is an adjustment for the oiler. Right at the bottom of your chainsaw, located right here, you can see a little diagram. To the right, it shows a larger droplet of oil, and to the left, it shows how it's getting thinner. So that means that if you are to turn in here clockwise, you would be opening the oiler, and if you turn counterclockwise, you would be closing the oiler. So the way that we do it here at Dead Revival Design is we actually open the oiler all the way before milling. That way we can ensure that we get the maximum amount of lubrication to the bar, which can become problematic. If your bar is overheating consistently because of lack of oil or any other reason, you're gonna wear down the life of the bar, and you're also going to lower the life of the chain. Let's go over how to install a chain. It's always good to see other people's technique because you might pick up something that you might utilize for yourself or see another way that's possible to achieve the same result. So, first of all, I want to teach you about the chain. The first thing we want to go over is the chain tensioner pegs. The chain tensioner peg is actually located right here, right between both of the bar studs. So it's located between both of the bar studs just below. And so that slides to the right and to the left, and if it slides right, your chain will be tensioning. If it slides left, the chain will be going loose. By the time that you're going to install a chain, you've usually taken off the cover plate and you had a chain already that you were prior working with. So the chain tensioner should be all the way to the right hand side, or mostly to the right hand side. So the first step that you want to do in installing a chain is actually backing that chain tensioner back to the left hand side so it is easier to put it into the groove of the bar. I wouldn't go all the way back, just leave it about 1/8 of an inch shy right here. And so this is a good position. Next, we're gonna get our bar. And one thing that we wanted to touch on the bar is, some people mistakenly think that the bar is supposed to be placed in a way where you can always read the lettering, like that this is upright and this is upside down. That is actually incorrect. The bar needs to be rotated actually quite frequently. So the way that I use my bar is I rotate it every time that I go out in the field. So if today I was working with it in one direction, tomorrow I'll flip it and work the other direction. Reason being is the chain actually wears down the bar unevenly. Certain parts in the bar, because of the way that the chain sits, wear down a little bit more than others. And so in flipping the bar, you ensure that the bar wears evenly. So in flipping the bar, you ensure that it wears evenly. All right, so we take our chain. So at this point, we have our chain onto the bar, just holding pressure kind of away from the bar on the tip of the chain here. We're gonna go ahead and hook it around the sprocket. Once you got it around the sprocket, you'll see that the chain will actually hook around the sprocket and that the bar will drop into this area right here, right in the chain tensioner peg like we talked about earlier. So now you can hold that there. And generally I just, without putting the cover plate on yet, I give it a couple of spins, turning it clockwise to kind of tighten the chain here. Then we're going to get the cover plate. I'll place the bar nuts. And so at this point, we're going to ensure that the bar nuts are only hand tight. Hand tight is more than enough. Actually, in order to properly tighten the chain, you actually need the bar nuts to be loose. So we got it like that. Now when I set it down, I want you to pay attention to what just happened there. So we had a chain that was tight all the way around the bar, but when I place it in a regular upright position, now we have a lot of sag. Why is that? That's actually because in order to get the proper tension for your chain, you need to have the bar slightly picked up. So there's a couple of ways in order to do this. So you can see there's a little bit of play in the bar. You can actually take your chainsaw. So you put the tip of the chainsaw on a piece of wood, just have it slightly lifted, and then from there you can actually take and tighten the chain tensioner by going clockwise. You can tell that the sag is starting to not be there anymore as we tighten. Okay, in order to check the tension, you need to check it with pressure applied to the front of the bar as well. You cannot check it like this. This will not be accurate. You'll be checking it like that. And so, at the end I like to pull. And the way that I determine the proper chain tension is once I'm tight where I want to be, I pull. And when I can say about 3 or 4 driver links, that's good enough. You also got to remember that when you tighten the bar nuts from whatever you have determined right now, it's actually going to get a little bit tighter. So this one, let's back it up a little bit. If the chain is overly tight, you're actually going to create more wear and tear on the bar and actually more wear and tear on the actual power head, so it has to work a little bit harder. You're not going to get really good cutting, and you'll be able to hear it as the chain spins. If it's too tight, you'll kind of be able to hear a little bit of grinding. So there you have it. Chain's on, proper tension, and we're good to go. And so hopefully those tips and tricks are going to be helpful to you. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'll see you again soon.